Hello and welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. We have two bourbon whiskeys, two sour mash bourbon whiskeys. Neither one have a website listing. They're both 80 proof and they both cost me the same price, $9.99. One is straight bourbon, one is blended. Okay, so here we have 10 High Kentucky bourbon whiskey, a blend. Originally sold as an 86 proof straight bourbon whiskey. Then it was changed about 13 years ago to this, apparently 2009, around that time, to this, the blended bourbon. And now they're selling it. This was phased out, I think, but I bought it last week, so it's still on the shelves. But it was phased out and replaced by, it has to be the case because I saw the same exact bottle design with a different description. It said bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. And then they got the new label, the Eagle. I call it the Eagle label. America's Native Spirit. I can remember years ago on the Sazerac website, they showed both labels, but they never explained like why they had two different labels. Okay, but I figured it out, I think. Okay, here's a competitor, Henry McKenna. It says established 1855. Yeah, well, not really. 1961, this brand hit the market. It was first used in trademark. The trademark was first used in commerce, I mean to say. This is a nice brown bottle. Looks like wood, like mahogany. There's a story on the back that's look like it has some printing problems because there's big gaps in the printing, you might notice. But there's no reason for the gaps. Due to McKenna's strict requirement of proper aging before, like there's these big spaces and then the rest is properly spaced. Oh yeah, and above it, Henry McKenna knew he had brought something special to the U.S. Seemed like a big company like this company, Heaven Hill, would notice that there's a printing issue on the product. I see so many mistakes though with big companies. Okay, so a lot of these products, they seem the way they marketed like they're really old, but they aren't really. But what difference does it make? They're on the market now. I'm not back in 1855, and I'm not back in 1961. I'm now doing this now. So it's a nice looking bottle. Henry McKenna. This is not the famous, what is it, 10-year aged. And there's some other ones. Oh, no, this is the inexpensive one that they don't bother to mention on their website. Distilled by Henry McKenna Distillery, Bardstown, Kentucky. Oh, yeah, sure it is. It's Heaven Hill Distillery. Same thing over here. Established 1879. 10 High Kentucky Sour Mash. Well, 10 High wasn't established in 1879. That was Hiram Walker Distilling Company, who's not even in business anymore. They got all their assets were bought out years ago, a long time ago, by Barton Distilling, and now it's under Sazerac ownership. Okay, it was really from 1934. That was the first time the trademark was used in commerce. Okay, whatever the case, I paid the exact same price for each. King of the Dots, Gary says, I've seen that bottle in some gutter somewhere. Gary is always the positive person here. But he's jealous. Okay, I was at the parade, Zulu parade, and then it was going really slow, and it was warm out there. I mean, it's nice, it's warm, but you're walking on all the miles I walk, you start getting hot. And I was like, let me get out of here. I got food I need to eat at home anyhow. I'm not going to eat somewhere on the route because you don't want to pay for food on the parade route. It's going to cost twice as much as normal, or at least a third more. But I had food I wanted to eat at home. I have eaten like at Please You restaurant along the route. That's always good, and they don't hike the prices. But anyhow, I saw enough, and it was fine. And the crowd seemed calm. Everybody was relaxed, and it's kind of laid back. So it was very nice. It was huge crowds, maybe the biggest ever. Just to walk was a challenge. It was so packed with people. I had to make this. But I walked from the bus station, train station. It's bus and train. And the people were leaving to get on Amtrak, 9:15. They didn't care about the parades. They were leaving to get on the train. Wherever they were from, it was leaving for New York City. And then, or in areas along the route there, South Carolina, Washington, D.C., New York. And then I walked down to Lee Circle. They call it Harmony Circle now, but where the Robert E. Lee statue is supposed to be and should still be. Then I walked down river on St. Charles Avenue, down river, crossed the street, went to the Knights of Columbus Council, used the restroom, got some water, walked down river again, got to Canal Street, walked west on Canal Street away from the river, walked down Royal Street, went on a cross street back down Bourbon Street. Oh no, I came back and then went down Bourbon Street a little bit. The crowds were building. Then walked back to Canal, up Canal, around Canal, to the other side, back down, up St. Charles Avenue, up river on St. Charles, back to what should be called Lee Circle, then back to the train station. Bus station. I didn't take a bus there. I drove my car, but. And there was people galore. And the parade's still going on. Zulu's still passing in front the old city hall. I said, this is going to be 5 o'clock. Rex is going to still be running. And then they got 2 parades after that. Zulu is a long parade. Rex is pretty long. Not super long, but pretty long. And then they got 2 long parades after that. It'll be nightfall for the finish. Good thing they no longer have that nighttime parade, Comus, because the thing would be, ooh. All right, anyway, enough of that. Mardi Gras tracking report. And then a lady called me from the route. I said, I wish we could have met up down there, but she would have wanted to stay late. And she lives on the route. She lives on St. Charles Avenue, not where the parade passes. But she said, I just rode my bike down here. She said, I got a late start. I'm far as usual. And she said, yeah, it's just kind of getting started. And she was pretty far down the route. I said, oh, yeah, I couldn't take it. I can't take that long drawn out. I like to get there early and get out early. But maybe maybe I don't have the right parade mentality. Where do all the used beads go? In the trash, probably. I don't try to catch that. If it's a hand-decorated coconut from the Zulu parade, yeah, I'll try to catch that. Somebody at work told me, if you see an LSU or Saints coconut, I like that. Or any kind of LSU or Saints paraphernalia. But I didn't catch anything. I was offered, but I didn't want it. And some Buddhist monks were going around handing out beads. I said, oh, no, I don't want that. All right. I don't need anything. Okay. So this is a good time, warm winter afternoon, to do a whiskey taste challenge, bourbon. And they were doing a lot of, not taste challenges down there, but there was a lot of consuming going on, I noticed. People drinking every kind of thing you ever saw. Every kind of thing. All right. And all the good food they were cooking. It did look good. I got to admit that. All that barbecue in there. That was, and some people were boiling crawfish. It was looking good. It was looking real good. All right. Now see, these are both gonna have that. They're both gonna have that sourdough. I call it sourdough bagel smell. It's like real corn oriented, and it's like sourdough bagels because of the sour mash process. It doesn't really taste or smell like those, but I don't know what else to approximate it to. Yeah. It's like a pungent nose you get with the sour mash bourbons. If you never had it, it's hard for me to describe it. Okay, the one in my right hand has that also, but it's a lower volume of aroma. Try and describe that correctly. Yeah, it's just tamped down. It's like not diluted. It's just tamped down. It's just a little less present on the nose. Okay, it doesn't smell bad. Neither one of these is going to smell or taste bad. Okay, they're not going to be exciting like Mardi Gras. You know what I mean? They're going to be just kind of ordinary. And I saw big name brands down there. You know, they were drinking Crown Royal and Tito's vodka. I saw that. I saw well, of course, every Budweiser everywhere, Bud Light, even more Bud Light. Um, some Louisiana craft beers people were drinking. Yeah. Crown Royal, Tito's. A lot of people drinking tequila. I thought that was interesting. Luna Azul and some other tequilas. One guy was like, "You don't have the, what do you say? You don't have the Blanco." The girl was drinking the Reposado. And I left a little sour mash out last night in the glass. The sour smell was all over the kitchen. I should have tasted it to see just what it was, but it was breakfast. Right. Okay. Well, he's got a look. Well, he's dealing with early onset, so he, no use teasing the guy. All right. Taste. Cheers. Yeah, this is around the time you want to leave from down there after all that consumption. It starts getting a little. Some people will start getting a little out of hand. You know what I mean? No, I mean, didn't smell any of that marijuana smell though. Not once. Never smelt it. I thought I said, you think you'd smell, but I didn't. Didn't even smell cigarette smoke. Smell some auto exhaust a little bit. Yeah. Mostly just smell barbecue smoke. Okay. All right. Vanilla through the roof. Vanilla, vanilla, vanilla. What about charred oak? Yeah, a little bit, but minimal, very minimal. And some honeysuckle nectar, corn. Of course, you're gonna always taste corn because they're made from corn. You know what I'm saying? It's like a corn experience. Like if you're drinking brandy, it's going to be a grape experience, unless it's apple brandy or something like that. What are the hot laws down yonder? Oh, I mean, they're strict on a theoretical level. In a practical sense, they're probably not so strict. Okay. It's like the alcohol laws, illegal to drink in public, but for sure, look for that to get enforced, especially on Mardi Gras Day. Yeah, let's go back to this one. It's a lot blander. That one is not exactly full of excitement. This one is bland. Not bad. Get a little vanilla, and you just get like this neutral flavor. And that makes sense because it's 49% grain neutral spirits, which is unaged, raw, in this case, almost assuredly corn liquor. Or as you want to call it, moonshine. People call it moonshine, which is really an illegally produced liquor, but that's like popular thing to call it now. They got all these brands on the market, moonshine, which it's really just grain neutral spirits, unaged. Okay, it's not brown vodka like people will say. You hear them say that's brown vodka. No, it's actually not vodka at all. But maybe they should go study more about the products that they're slamming, and if they want to say they don't like it, fine, no problem there. Say I don't like it, no problem. But don't call it something it isn't. It's not brown vodka. It's actually there's no vodka involved in it. Sorry to break your heart, but that's the truth. Okay. Now, when we consider price, what do we have? We don't consider price in this taste challenge because they're the same price. Okay. So that doesn't play a part at all here. They're both $9.99. And they're still $9.99 this very day. I know that Henry McKenna is around one of these stores around here, not in this parish. I don't think it's sold in this parish, but one of these stores in the southeastern Louisiana area, and it's $9.99. I've seen it for $8.99, but I already had it, So you can actually buy it cheaper than that if you buy the handle, because you can get a lower price per ounce with the handle, but then you're going to be drinking a whole handle of it. Okay, so you better hope you like it. Is one of these better than the other? Okay. There is some oak char, but it's not playing that big of a role in this challenge. It's there, but it's not there by much. Oh, so the Henry McKenna has to be at least 4 years old. It's got no age statements, so we know it's at least 4 years old. And we know the 10 high is 4 years old because it says it on the bottle. Right there. 4 years or more old. The new version doesn't have an age statement, but that doesn't matter because it still would have to be at least 4 years old or more. The 10 high is so bland. I'm not going to say it's offensive. I'm not going to say it's off-putting. I'm not going to say it's stomach turning or anything like that. Or like you say, you found it in the gutter, with that humor, that bad humor, which is not humorous, but that's okay because you're trying. It's just dull. So if you drink it and say, oh, it tastes nasty. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, me. Oh, my. What are you talking about? You must be easily offended because it's not nasty. Now, if you ranted on and on how dull it was and rather relatively flavorless, I'm right there riding along with you. It's okay. I mean, would I recommend it? I guess some people like bland things. I see the food people eat. They love it's wine humor, the best type. Oh, wino humor. Right. I thought a law was kicking in to have an ingredient label on alcohol beverages. No, it's probably in Sweden. Okay, or Canada. Well, I mean, some people really do like stuff like this. The blander, the better. I tell you, want a little black pepper or hot sauce on that food? No, oh no, oh no, no. Everything bland, everything bland. But that's fine because that's what you want to eat. Eat it. If that's what you want to drink, drink it. Look at Bud Light, most popular beer in America. Certainly not the most flavorful. I'm not gonna say it's bad. There's nothing bad about it. Just kind of bland. I don't know why people paying so much money for something bland like that when you could get Milwaukee's Best Light for a good deal cheaper. And to me, it has more flavor, has more character. But it's personal opinion. Craig Swenson calling in from New England. I saw cookie dough whiskey at the store. I saw that too. Just now saw it yesterday, I think, or day before yesterday. It seems alcohol is following craft beer with all the silly flavors. Oh yeah, because what happens is you got a flooded market. See, so you got too many products chasing too few purchasers. And what happens with inflation, when with money? Like what happens when you have inflated money supply? You have a lower value. The value of the currency declines, so it has less purchasing power. So then you have a flooded beer, wine, and liquor market. Then that it's you say, well, the prices are high. Yeah, well, but you see a lot of specials. They're trying to move product. You can shop special. You get some good discounts, like I do all the time. And but like you're talking about, you start having people coming up with all these gimmicks and peanut butter flavored, cookie dough flavored, pickle flavored beer, avocado flavored, guacamole flavored, garlic flavor, and so forth. And so it's because they're trying to attract somebody. Oh, this whiskey was put at sea. It was put on a ship at sea, so the waves could rock it back and forth. You know, whip my whiskey back and forth, whip my whiskey back and forth. So you say, well, that's like ridiculous. Like, why would somebody pay extra for something like that? So obviously a gimmick, because it's the same thing. Too many things chasing too few people. Does it bother me that they have cookie dough flavor whiskey? Doesn't bother me at all, especially since I'm not going to buy it. Now, if they have a little sample bottle, you know, like a Total Wine for 79 cents, sure, I'll buy it for like Wild Card Wednesday or Thunder and Thursday. I mean, or Fandango Friday or Thunder and Thursday. But otherwise, you know, nah. Bland is better than unusual flavors, in my opinion, says Craig. See, he would rather bland than unusual. And I would rather unusual than bland. I tried to get people at work to eat Limburger cheese. Say, try Limburger cheese. Oh, no. None of them ever had it. But they saw the Little Rascals or the Three Stooges with the gag scenes with the, I don't mean gag like, oh, I'm a gag, but it was really related to that, because when the people smelled the cheese, they were, like, oh, so offended. So in their mind, it's going to automatically taste bad. I said, how would it be on the shelf still selling and people buy it if it's bad? And you never tried it, but you know you're not going to like it. So it's the same thing. All right, I'm going to say this is 10 high, and it is not very high in my taste preferences. It is the 10 high. It's never going to win a contest. It's not going to win a single contest here, I'm sorry to say. I'm big on Limburger. Enough said. See, there's somebody with an enjoyment of Limburger like myself. I mean, once I eat those 2 packs, I'm not going to buy it for a year probably, because you get tired of it after a while. All right, it's up to $7.99 at Chubb now. They're unbelievable. Oh, really? Mathern's dropped their price, and I noticed other prices dropping. We need deflation. That's what we need in this country. Deflation, not inflation. We need deflation. We need air to be let out of the bubble. And a lot of air. Yeah, it's like 549. No. 589. It was 649 for 10 years. I'm telling you, for 10 years, it was always 649 over there. And now it's dropped. The price has dropped. Nice, huh? All right. Well, so sorry to hit you with two kind of ho-hum products, but I have them, and that's what they are, ho-hum. So Henry McKenna, I wouldn't get too excited about it. But for $8.99, yes, even some stores have it for $8.99. But for $9.99, no problem, no problem. I have a little bit left. I could probably do 5 taste challenges with this, maybe 6. It's not going to inspire anybody, but it's not going to disgust anybody. Not not in my world. 10 high, yeah. I got a lot of taste challenges left with this. Look at that size. You can tell it's the Sazerac bottle with that lip at the bottom. Just like you can tell this is a Heaven Hill bottle, because it's straight cylinder. Straight cylinder. Am I going to mind drinking? I'm not going to mind. I'm not going to be looking forward to it. No, this week we got to do, well, anybody else could do Fandango Friday, like James P. Madonna and them if they want to, but, or Jean-Pierre if they have a mind to do it. But we're going to do Thundering Thursday. Yes, Thundering Thursday at the same time, 6:30 Eastern. Last week I was the only one on it. Nobody could join. They had stuff to do. I didn't take offense. Okay, or either they weren't interested in joining. Yeah, Fat Tuesday. That's today. Fat Tuesday. Maniacal Monday, Fat Tuesday, Wild Card Wednesday, Thundering Thursday, Fandango Friday, Super Inclusive Saturday, and Stout Sunday. How you like that? All right, y'all take care now.